It's Wednesday, June 30th, and first off, I thought I'd address why there was no episode of RunnerSpace Live last week. There was a good reason. I was on my way to Des Moines, Iowa for the 2010 USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships in Drake Stadium, where we partnered with USATF to bring you a live webcast of the whole meet, available on usatf.org and runnerspace.com. We also uploaded 880 videos, tons of videos of field events, interviews, and races to both websites. And personally, I was a little disappointed with that because when I left home, I set a personal goal to get 881 videos. You're watching RunnerSpace Live. Yes! A very exciting meet from Track Central USA. A successful one for the Oregon Track Club Elite. Their athletes had a number of wins there. Now you may have noticed that not all of the race videos are available for viewing on the site right now, but we should have them up sometime this week as they become available to us from the TV broadcast from ESPN and NBC. They may already be on the site by the time you see this. It's the
awkward video of the week.
As incredible as those last few days of U.S. Championships were, these next few days are going to be just as incredible, and perhaps incredibler. Because there's a ton of incredible meets with incredible official websites hosted right here on runnerspace.com. Kicking it off July 2nd with the first ever Nike Track Nationals meet. This meet right here. Check out the site, NikeTrackNationals.com. The very next day, same venue, Hayward Field, Eugene, Oregon. We've got the Prefontaine Classic, preclassic.com, official site hosted right here on RunnerSpace. And then the next day, 2 road races. The Peachtree Run in Atlanta, Georgia, which doubles as the USA Men's 10K Road Racing Championships for the USA Running Circuit. Check that one out, usarunningsircuit.com. This is the 5th stop on that circuit. And also, the Aquafina Butte to Butte, held in Eugene, Oregon. butte2butte.org. It's the RunnerSpace Rundown. It's time for a quick Nike Track Nationals update. Just wanted to point out that the fields are set and the meet is this Friday, July 2nd. Tune in to NikeTrackNationals.com from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. for the live webcast. It's the high school rundown. Yes, I know we've got a little catching up to do, so let's get going. 2 weekends ago, Greensboro, North Carolina, New Balance National. Incredible relays. The girls from Blacksburg High School in Virginia ran a nation-leading DMR. They ran an 11:31.26, 7 seconds faster than when they set the Penn Relays record earlier this year. And that was a national record by 0.6 of a second. The girls from Saratoga Springs in New York ran a number 3 all-time 20:04 in the 4x-mile. Also, there were some incredibly fast splits that came from relays. Ajee Wilson anchored the Shore Athletics Club Sprint Medley Relay in a 2:59.800. Unbelievable. And then Chris Fitzsimmons anchored the Hamden Boys 4x800 in a 1:47.15. But he wasn't done there. He came back the next day to anchor the DMR in a 4:05, leading his team to a number 6 all-time 9:56. And double winners, Octavius Freeman in the 100 and 200, Alexis Brannon in the long jump and triple jump, and freshman Kendall Williams in the 100 hurdles and 400 hurdles. And let's not forget the great 2 miles. Twin brothers Joe and Jim Rosa took 1-2 in the boys 2 mile, with Joe running a US leading 8:44. And on the girls side, Megan Gothals came out on top in an epic battle with Ashlyn Cuff, winning by a second. Her time of 10:01.16 was just hundredths of a second off the US high school record. Now on to the USA Junior Nationals in Des Moines, Iowa, which is where I was this last week. In the girls 3K, Emily Sisson of Missouri outkicked former high school superstar Jordan Assay to win with a 9:18. Michigan freshman Kendall Basin ran a US leading 52.65 in the 400 prelims. Then came back the next day and lowered that mark to win the finals in a 52.59. Elias Gedian of Loyola was the first high schooler in, finishing second in the junior men's 1500 with a US leading 3:47. He introduced our show last week. Jen Clayton of New York put up a US best 20 feet 3 3/4 inches in the long jump, and Sherroyd Evans won the 400 hurdles with a number 16 all-time, US leading 50.55. It's the College Pro Rundown. This one's a doozy, the USA Outdoor Track and Field Championships. In the junior men's 800, young collegian Cass Loxham beat out other young collegian Robbie Andrews with a time of 1:47.4. Also from the junior senior competition, Connor McCullough, a freshman at Princeton University, set a U.S. junior record in the hammer throw with a throw of 256 feet 10 inches. On to the senior competition, the field event's own 2 more American records. One in the high jump set by fan favorite Shantae Lowe with a jump of 6 feet 8 3/4 inches, and another in the javelin by Kara Patterson with a throw of 218 feet 9 inches. And Jen Sir, formerly Jen Stasinski, cleared 16 feet half an inch in the pole vault. On Thursday, the men's 10K kicked off a plague of slow kickers races. As expected, Galen Rupp was the champion, but ran a pedestrian 28:59. In a horribly slow 1500, Lopez Lamong and Leo Manzano finished 1-2, the same order as last year. Lamong won with an awful 350.8, but ran a blistering final 400 with a 51.29. Bernard Legault won the men's 5K in another kickers race with a 13:54. In the men's 800, Nick Simmons three-peated with a 1:45.98. Hometown favorite Lisa Cole ran a gutty race, leading much of the women's 10K, but was outkicked in the final 800 by Amy Bagley, who won with 32.06. Lauren Fleshman made a triumphant return after about a 2-year injury hiatus and got a surprise win in the women's 5K with a 15:28. Anna Pierce won the 1500 in a 4:13, and Alicia Johnson won the women's 800, dipping under that 2-minute barrier with a 1:59.8. Hometown favorite Lolo Jones won the 100 hurdles in a 12:69, while Spearman ran a wind-aided 19:77 in the 200, and Bershawn Jackson ran a world-leading 47:32 in the 400 hurdles. It's the Road Racing Rundown at the Seattle Rock and Roll Marathon and Half Marathon in Seattle, Washington. On the men's side, 23-year-old Yunselba Sweti of Kenya won the full marathon in a 2:18.20. The women's marathon was won by 29-year-old Sapanya Eep from my hometown, Eugene, Oregon, in a time of 2:43.05. But the big performance here came out of the women's half marathon, where Mario Ozaki, a 34-year-old from Japan, ran a course record 1:10.52. And at the Univ Stadsloop Appingedam 10K in the Netherlands, Peter Kamai of Kenya came just short of the course record, running a 27:47. He missed it by 4 seconds. The women's race was won by Lorna Kippelgat, who won in a 31:52. And this one isn't exactly on the roads, but I couldn't leave it out. The Western States Endurance Run 100 miler. It goes from Squaw Valley to Auburn, California over difficult trails with over 40,000 feet of elevation change. 34-year-old Alaskan Jeff Rose got the win, finishing in a course record 15 hours, 7 minutes, and 4 seconds. That's 9:03 pace per mile for 100 miles non-stop. He won by almost 7 minutes. The women's race was won by 41-year-old Canadian Tracy Garneau in a time of 19 hours, 1 minute, and 55 seconds. And check this out, below-the-knee amputee Amy Palmiero Winters became the first ever amputee to finish the race, finishing 30th in a time of 27:43.10. That's it for this week, everyone. Have a happy 4th of July, and enjoy these next few incredible days of track and field. RunnerSpace Live, signing out.